Alright, so in this one, I want to go over what has happened here, and I want to go over what I'm looking for next from Bitcoin. Pretty simple. So let's get into it. In my last video, I gave my decision range, which was this range high, confluence with the point of control of the macro range, and this range low, confluence with the same value area low. And I also gave my higher time frame context, and the most significant thing to happen recently was us taking out this range high with bearish signs, which, in my mind, made me think that we will rotate to the downside unless we see something bullish. And we started to see bullish signs here. Now we've taken out the range low again. Did we see more bullish signs? Does it still look like Bitcoin is trying to reverse the bearishness caused by this bit of price action over here? Let's go over that. So, firstly, we did technically close below this point on the 4-hour. However, going to the daily time frame, you can see it was only a wick. And, I think this is a high enough time frame move for me to look at this on the daily. It's not too scrunched up for me to, not be able to look at the daily for a wick of this low. I think this fits. We SFP'd it on the daily. It was barely a close on the 4-hour. And while we're looking at this, let's actually run over market ciphers. So the daily time frame momentum did continue lower from where it was at last time. But right now the VWAP's pointing back to the upside. Momentum is starting to clip off a little bit. And, money flow has retraced a significant amount, but it still could certainly put in a higher low. Again, I've been mentioning this overall direction with the daily money flow. We did kind of put in a double top here, so the direction is not necessarily continuing to the upside. Following this, anchor to trigger wave setup with the money flow, we have not seen, really good follow through because we haven't put in a higher high. But I still think it's possible if we can kind of rebound here. If momentum bottoms out, we may see money flow try to continue this little local uptrend that it's in. So what happened on the 4-hour as we took out that low? Well, we did see continued divergences, at least with momentum. Momentum did put in a higher low here, and this right here was also a divergence, a local one, as we came down to put in this last low. So we are continuing the direction with momentum as we came down to put in one more low. Technically, diverging from this point to this point, because, from here, like where we put in that actual last low, we technically did put in a lower low, but I'm viewing the overall momentum wave, not necessarily like where we put in the last low. So yeah, I still definitely consider this a momentum div, but money flow put in a lower low, so it's not looking that great. But if we go down to the 3-hour, we can see that we have momentum divs still, and we also have divs with money flows, so this is looking a bit better. Now, on the 2-hour, we also saw a bit of local bullishness with a divergence from here to here. This was a div with momentum, and we also had the regional money flow divs, not momentum divs, because regionally we put in a lower low, but we did have those local divs, which I still think mark this as a pretty strong low, considering we are seeing divs on the 4-hour and down at the moment. And again, same thing here on the 1-hour, local divergences, overall divergences with money flow, and this time we also have local divergences with money flow. So we are seeing bullish signs on this low. This was a pretty aggressive reclaim of the value area low and this overall range. And I would say at this point we are back to where we were previously. We are trading in a decision range, except the low has been extended. So in terms of higher time frame stuff, again, the same thing still applies. I think breaking the point of control and this range high significantly would give me confidence that, all right, we're probably coming back up to this high, possibly higher if we break that as well. If we start to lose the value area low and now this range low, which is at this point pretty far away from it, and is also pretty close to some key support levels right below it. So, we could just kind of continue SFPing lower and lower. I have seen that kind of thing happen. But let's say we break significantly below this low and, don't respect any of these support levels. Well, at that point, I'd think, all right, the bearishness from this high is back on, and we will probably continue rotating lower to some, more significant supports, possibly even the range low. So that higher time frame context still stands. Now, something I want to do is let's take a look at this range and let's see if there's any ideas to be had here. And I do like the point of control and the value area low because it's confluence with the higher time frame value area low. I think this is a zone that I may look for a back test if we start getting a retracement, and we can see if there's any confluence in that zone, maybe a 0.5 fib. I think it will be, and yeah, it's right around the low. What about an anchored VWAP from this low? All right, currently it's at the low of the box, so that means we have time. If we start retracing, the anchored VWAP may end up around the center of the box by the time we get down there. And I am curious if there's an NDPOC somewhere, so I'm going to take this from Thursday 20 o'clock to Wednesday 20 o'clock. And I think we probably already hit that. Yeah, we did. Let's check the day previous, because we may have some resistance that we're approaching. Looks like we already hit that one as well. Yeah, I mean, I can keep looking for these, or maybe one higher. Nah, we already technically hit that one already. All right, so, I think at this point, the confluence zone is really my, main area of interest. I will also mark out this low, because of course, if we SFP that with bullish signs again, especially if we, get an SFP into this daily level, that could be an idea as well. And, if we start forming some bullish things below this blue box, like into the golden pocket or 786, like if we start to range on a lower time frame with bullish signs, there could possibly be long trades there as well, but I'm not gonna, plan out for anything ahead of time. For that kind of scenario, I would need to see, local price action do something bullish, and I would trade that context. But yeah, currently, I think this is one area that I'm interested in. This down here is another area I'm interested in. And let's take a look at resistance. So from the top to the bottom, the golden pocket is aligning with the value area high. All right, so that is some decent confluence off the bat. So while there is some confluence here, there is also some liquidity to potentially be had above that level. Even above this wick, we did not take out that previous wick with this wick, so lower highs. And there is also a high right here, but this was a liquidity grab. We already grabbed liquidity from right here. So potentially we get a move above value area high just to take out that liquidity. Maybe there's some kind of resistance in this zone. I don't really love the confluence for resistance, but I will say that if we start blasting through this value area high, I think that opens the door to the 786, then the point of control, then possibly the range high. I'm not seeing like too much that like really catches my eye. I see a bunch of lower highs here. I think we could see a short squeeze if we start breaking above some of this key resistance. And I don't really think I'm interested in a short trade from here. I think currently the overall bias in this range is bullish, so I don't really want to look for shorts in the middle of the range. I would rather wait for like the extreme end of the range. So yeah, in that case, I mean, the same thing pretty much still stands. If we see bearish signs up around this high, anywhere between the point of control and the range high, then I will look for a short trade. But again, before the short trade must come the confirmations. So, yeah, I mean, those are currently my plans, and I am gonna cut this off here, and I'm gonna upload this quick, and I will follow up with any of my ideas if I end up taking any of these trades. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. I appreciate the support, and I will see you all in the next one.